A string of pearls. Yes, each one a gem. You can have a string of days and each one a gem. A 5-day ski vacation at Waterville Valley. The Waterville Company says it can do for your looks and disposition what nothing else can do. Not to mention your social life. Girls get fresh, glowing complexions and slimmer, trimmer figures. Men turn into muscular, healthy-looking tigers. Funny, skiing doesn't do that for me. I don't know, maybe there's something lacking. Anyway, you'll make a lot of new friends in 5 days and maybe meet somebody special. The atmosphere is pleasant and informal. 5-day Learn to Ski weeks are available Mondays through Fridays, starting Sunday evenings, and they cost $109 per person for a double room, or $81 for a bunk room at either of 2 new lodges. Prices include breakfast and dinner at the new Four Ways Restaurant Lounge, and lift tickets, and daily 2-hour ski lessons. And after skiing, parties, movies, music, dancing, entertainment. So make your reservations soon. A fun-filled 5-day Learn to Ski week vacation at Waterville Valley, New Hampshire. There's going to be some good spring skiing. You ought to get in on it. You can't help having the time of your life, and you'll be surprised how quickly and easily you learn to ski. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. A ski report. The outlook for the ski areas of New England: increasing cloudiness and warmer today, with high temperatures generally in the 40s, except 30s or upper 20s in the higher elevations. Showers developing in most sections tonight or early Saturday, continuing through the day. Lowest temperature tonight in the 30s, little change for Saturday. Winds mostly south to southwest 10 to 15, except increasing 25 to 35 the higher you get. Well, listen, Ray doesn't want it goofed. He should be here, that's all.
Balanced blend. That's what L&M Golden Hundreds have. Balanced blend. That's what L&M Golden Hundreds have. L&M's Balanced Blend gives good taste from end to end. Balanced Blend. That's what L&M Golden Hundreds have.
New L&M Golden Hundreds. The 100-millimeter cigarette that gives you the same good taste from end to end. Because L&M Golden Hundreds are a balanced blend of quality tobaccos. So if you're looking for good taste from first puff to last, try new L&M Golden Hundreds.
L&M's Balanced Blend gives good taste from end to end. Balanced Blend. That's what L&M Golden Hundreds have.
Now Patrick McGinty, an Irishman of note, fell in for a fortune and he bought himself a goat. Says he, sure of goat's milk I'm going to have me fill. But when he brought the nanny home he found it was a bill. All the young ladies who live in Killaloe, they're all wearing bustles like their mothers used to do. They each wear a bolster beneath their petticoat and leave the rest to Providence and Paddy McGinty's goat. Mrs. Burke to her daughter said, listen, Mary Jane, who was the lad you were cuddling in the lane? He'd long wiry whiskers a-hanging from his chin. 'Twas only Pat McGinty's goat, she answered with a grin. Then she went away from the village in disgrace. She came back with powder and paint upon her face. She'd rings on her fingers and she wore a sable coat. You bet your life she didn't get those from Paddy McGinty's goat. Now Nora McCarthy, the knot was going to tie. She washed out her trousseau when she hung it out to dry. Along came the goat and he saw the bits of white and chewed up all her folderols upon her wedding night. Oh, turn out the light quick, she shouted out to Pat, for though I'm your bride, sure I'm not worth looking at. I had to have everything I told you when I wrote, but now I've won and nothing all through Paddy McGinty's goat. Mickey Riley, he went to the races the other day. He won $20 and he shouted hip hooray. He held up the note shouting, look at what I've got. The goat came up and grabbed it and he swallowed up the lot. He's eaten me banknotes, says Mickey with a hump. They went for the doctor and they got a stomach pump. They pumped and they pumped for the $20 note, but all they got was 9 pence out of Paddy McGinty's goat. Now old Paddy's goat had a wondrous appetite, and one day for breakfast he had some dynamite. A big box of matches he swallowed all serene, then out he went and swallowed up a quart of paraffin. He sat by the fireside, he didn't give a hang, he swallowed a spark and exploded with a bang. So if you go to heaven, you can bet $1 note that the angel with the whiskers on is Paddy McGinty's goat.
Val Doonican. Yeah.
Wonderful.
You like that? Good. It's coming down to 15 minutes past 8 o'clock, the WHDH time. Coming down at 8:15. I won't be here St. Patrick's Day, which is Sunday. I wouldn't be here anyway, Sunday. But Monday is the official celebration, and I'm going on a 2-week vacation. Not necessarily deserved, but nevertheless, who am I to make waves? But it's kind of spooky, really, because we're going to Antigua. I understand you say Antigua till you've been there, and then when you come back, you say Antigua. But it's the first thing I look at in one of those psychological columns is this, in the mirror of your mind. Are vacations beneficial to every hard worker? Answer, almost everyone feels that getting away from this rat race will do a world of good. A hard-earned vacation sometimes can have adverse emotional effects. Dr. Zoltan Weisinger, a psychiatrist from Antigua in the British West Indies, has noted that couples on vacation often display violent anger and strange behavior brought on by the suspension of their day-to-day pressures. Now, thank goodness on the other side, in my horoscope, it says, it ends up with, move forward and upward, you get along with just about everybody. So that kind of takes the curse off the other page, right? But isn't that something? I'm going to say, I wonder if he's down there. I got to check with him along about Tuesday or Wednesday. You say you just got back from a vacation with your husband. How do you feel?
I'll be all right when the swelling goes down.
Oh, boy.
WHDH, Skyway Patrol, WHDH, Skyway Patrol.
Brought to you by Brigham's. If you like good things to eat, the candy is best at Brigham's.
Well, Jess, on the Southeast Expressway, it's better than it has been in a long time for a busy Friday morning, that is. It's just heavy stop and go through East Milton and the Ponset Circle, and beyond that point, just like it has been all morning long, as a matter of fact, it's just heavy and occasionally slow moving. We're still clear on Morrissey Boulevard, the Central Artery on both sides, and also on Storrow and Memorial Drives. Just a little heavy and slow-moving traffic beyond the toll booth of the Mystic Bridge, and the Sumner Tunnel is heavy, occasionally slow-moving, nothing serious there. The end of Route 93 is in perfect shape. No reason to avoid that this morning. The Mass Turnpike extension, I was over there just a short while ago. No unusual problems there. I'm back over the Canton section, or Stoughton section of Route 24 and 128. And I can see it all cleared up now, and traffic is moving through Route 24 in beautiful shape also. So our next report will be just before the 8:30 news. From the Eagle Eye on Traffic, the WHDH Skyway Patrol, Kevin O'Keefe for Brigham's. If you like good things to eat, the candy is best at Brigham's.
Ching, 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 ching. Ching, 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 and ching. Ching, 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 ching. Ching, 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 and ching. Skiing is best out in Aspen, and bullfights are best in Madrid. All the swingers you meet who like good things to eat say the candy is best. Ooh, the chocolates are great. Yes, the candy is best at Brigham's. Ching, ching, ching. Ching, 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 ching.
You don't have to be Irish to enjoy Brigham's St. Patrick's Day specialties. In fact, everybody loves Brigham's famous Irish coffee ice cream, made with just this little spirit of old Ireland. Just the right taste for the wearing of the green. And you can get right in step with Brigham's St. Patrick's Day Parade of Treats by getting a delicious assortment of Brigham's finest chocolates in a festive shamrock box. So if you want to make a great day for the Irish or anyone else with a very special taste, get your holiday treats where you know they're best, and that's at Brigham's. Visit any of the Brigham's 80 shops in Boston and suburban locations for their St. Patrick's Day Parade of Treats. It's come down to 18 minutes past 8 o'clock, and speaking of little spirits of Ireland, we're going to have our annual interview with our friend the Leprechaun momentarily. A little mood music, sir. Forward. Oh. Ed Sullivan and his orchestra and chorus. Isn't that something else? It's wild. 22 minutes past 8 o'clock. Wearing of the green indeed. I got a lovely card yesterday in the mail at home from, I don't think I should mention the good sister's name. We'll settle for Sister W.E. And we won't even tell you where she is, but she's a cook in the convent. It isn't in Hingham. It's sort of like it's far from Hingham. It's the other side of Boston. But it was a fascinating card. And she says she's glad she's the cook because she can listen to the radio, and she's the only one that can at the convent. But she said that the card leaped out at her because it had an expression on the front of it. And guess what it said?
Oh, that warms the cockles of me heart.
That's what it said. It's 23 minutes past 8. You can wear the green on St. Patrick's Day. The wildest way imaginable. With an emerald green LeSabre, wrap one of them around you and see what happens. If you're really Irish, you'll want to own one of the 100. There's only 100 of them in this country. 100 of them in the United States. Emerald green Buicks, designed exclusively for Boston's Irish and for sale only during the week of March 17th in honor of St. Patrick. On St. Patrick's Day, they say, isn't everyone Irish? So as a consequence, you don't have to be Irish to drive a Buick LeSabre. You can get one at your Metropolitan Buick Opel dealers, the only place at which you should shop for a Buick or an Opel. If you can afford a car, you can afford a Buick. And if you can afford a Buick, why not get an emerald green one? A LeSabre. There's only 100 of them, and they're all at your Metropolitan Buick Opel dealers. That's a wild idea, isn't it? It's like moving into a greenhouse just for that week, isn't it? Speaking of greenhouses, it's 24 minutes past 8 o'clock, and the temperature's gone but 34 degrees.
It's not very often that we have an opportunity to interview somebody from another part of the world, actually another part of the universe. This morning, we're very pleased to conduct the first radio interview that's ever been conducted with a leprechaun. Good morning, sir.
Top of the morning to you, me boy.
Tell me, there's a lot of questions I'd like to ask you. I guess the best way to begin is to ask, how does somebody become a leprechaun?
Well, surely be to goodness, never a soul became a leprechaun. You gotta be born a leprechaun.
And you were born a leprechaun?
Sure, and me father was a ghost, and me dear mother was a changeling.
Well, you've been described by my notes here as a wee deeny-dawny bit of an old man. Would you call that a nap description?
Wee, is it? I'm the tallest of all leprechauns. Wee, indeed. I'm an even 6.
6 feet?
6 inches.
Oh, well, I suppose that is tall for a leprechaun. It's kind of difficult to make out the kind of clothes you're wearing in detail. Would you describe them?
Well, I've got on me green jacket with the 2 rows of 7 buttons, me red breeches buckled neatly at the knee, and me cocked hat on the point of which I could spin like a top. I've also got me 3-legged stool and me leather apron, which I use when I'm in the mood to do some shoemaking.
Oh, you make shoes?
Well, you may have heard the sound of me hammering coming over a hawthorn ditch or across a green field on a warm summer evening.
Tell me, as a rule, legend has it that all leprechauns are happy. Are you happy?
Well, as a rule, we're all happy, and it's best to keep it that way.
Why do you say that?
Well, when we're riled, we can't be held in account. We've been known to ride the sheep and the shepherd's dog all night long till they was exhausted and covered with mud. Or we can make the kettle boil over and put out the fire.
Tell me, are leprechauns easy to find?
Well, sure, now that's a poser. Those who try to find us never do. You can look under ash tree or thorn bush, or even under fairy hedges. But it's usually us who find you.
Well, how many leprechauns are there right now?
Fewer and fewer. Yes, we leprechauns are getting as scarce as holy water at an orange lodge.
Where are they all going?
'Tis underground we're going. We own the fairy gold, and we stay with it deep beneath the mountains and the rivers of Ireland. Deep in unexplored caverns and forgotten mines. 'Tis there we'll bide our time, till the word comes that the warm hearth and the generous hand and the old times have returned. Erin Shlantagol Cobra.
Here's Kevin O'Keefe in his flying machine with the traffic report.
Brought to you by Raytheon Missile Systems Division in Andover. Kevin Andover.
All right, Jess, on the Southeast Expressway, heavy stop and go only through the East Milton and the Barnett Circle sections of it, and also out by the let's see, the Southampton Street exit. You'll find a disabled truck in the right-hand lane just before you get to the Nealon Street exit, causing a slight slowdown in that area. Morrissey Boulevard is clear, so is the Central Artery, and also Storrow and Memorial Drives. I'm over at the Mass Turnpike extension once again in the Brighton section. It's going along beautifully in this area, and as far as the McGrath and O'Brien Highway is concerned, just a little congestion around the Leechmere Square area. Heavy and occasional slow-moving traffic on the Mystic Bridge and also the Sumner Tunnel. The end of Route 93 is in perfect shape. And our next report, 8:45 from your Eagle Eye on Traffic, the WHDH Skyway Patrol, Kevin O'Keefe, a Raytheon Missile Systems Division in Andover.
Oh, they throw you around. No, you didn't do that, Mom. Yeah.
Remember playing pin the tail on the donkey as a kid? Walking around in the dark trying to find the right spot and missing? A lot of fun. Well, some engineers are still playing this game today. They seem to be going around and around trying to find just the right place to pin their careers. Are you one of them? Would you like to find a spot where you could have the challenge and satisfaction of working on complete systems from development to installation? Well, take off your blindfold and head straight for Raytheon in Andover. Raytheon needs good engineers who want a chance to follow through with their ideas, who want to grow with its many new and challenging programs. If you're a design, specification, or methods and process engineer, there's a great opportunity waiting for you at Raytheon in Andover. Call Alan Emery, collect at 475-5000 today. Attention housewives, 40% more. That's what you get with famous quality Statler 250-count paper towels. New Statler Super 250 towels now give more, 40% more. Low-price Statler Super towels at A&P, Purity, Save More, and First National stores.
And at picnics?
And at picnics. What are you?
Hear it next. Up-to-the-minute news on 85 WHDH, Boston.
The voice of the city.
Police rush to the Paris Gold Exchange. WHDH Radio News, up to the minute at 8:30. Boston's weather is cloudy with 27 degrees. This is Ray Walker for Cott Real Draft Style Root Beer. It's got to be good for the same rich taste and fine foamy head root beer lovers have been enjoying for years. Pandemonium broke out on the Paris gold market this morning as buyers fought to place bids and push the price of the metal to new highs. Police had to be called in to prevent the buying crowd from getting unruly. Most other gold markets in Europe shut down today in an effort to stem the gold rush. In Washington, Congress has completed action on a bill removing the 25% gold cover requirement for the nation's currency. As soon as President Johnson signs the measure, the entire United States gold stock will be freed to meet America's pledge to convert dollar holdings to gold at the rate of $35 an ounce. To fight inflation and restore confidence in the dollar overseas, the Federal Reserve Board is also hiking its discount rate today to 5%. This is the rate commercial banks must pay for money they borrow from the Federal Reserve System. The upward move will mean higher interest rates in the economy generally. A renowned economist at MIT, Professor Paul Samuelson, says the way things were going, something had to give.
We can't really be surprised that emergency measures are now taking place. The present situation just could not have gone on for very much longer. We could have lost hundreds of millions of dollars of gold in a week, and in a month, literally billions of dollars. Something had to give. And now we're seeing what has happened. The first thing to have been expected was that the Federal Reserve would raise its discount rate. That's the traditional way of showing that a government is defending the parity of its currency. They've done that now by 0.5%. If anything, that seems to me to have been a mild increase.
MIT economist Paul Samuelson. American and South Vietnamese troops are in the midst of the biggest Allied sweep of the war. Some 50,000 troops under the personal command of General Westmoreland are pouring through an area between Saigon and the Cambodian border. They intend to drive off the communists who have been menacing the Vietnamese capital. Senator McCarthy thinks Senator Robert Kennedy will announce before Monday that he's a candidate for the presidency. And the Minnesota lawmaker believes the New Yorker will challenge him in the Nebraska, Oregon, and California primaries. Kennedy is quoted in Washington as saying he cannot support President Johnson for renomination. And when asked if he had a better chance than McCarthy of winning the Democratic nomination, Kennedy replied he wouldn't be considering a candidacy if he didn't think he had something to contribute. In other news, 3 fires broke out at the North Shore Amusement Center at Revere Beach during the night, and officials believe they may have been set. One fire damaged a concession area, another swept through the Shishi Club, and the third heavily damaged a vacant building on the waterfront next to the Beach Ball Club. One of Boston's best-known police reporters died this morning at the Jamaica Plain VA Hospital. Frank McLean covered the police beat for the Boston Record-American Sunday Advertiser for 50 years. McLean, who was 70, was a former president of the Boston Police Reporters Association. The WHDH weather story in a moment. When Cott came out with draft-style root beer, angry letters from dieters started pouring in, calling Cott unfair, subversive, even cruel, accusing Cott of creating draft-style root beer just to tease them. These letters all said the same thing, more or less. How would you feel if you were mad about rich, creamy, foamy, old-fashioned root beer, and there it was in Cott 8-packs and quarts, and you had to use all your strength to resist it because you were on a diet? So Cott went to work and developed a diet draft-style root beer. It's on the market now. Every bit as rich and delicious as the regular draft-style root beer, but with only 1 calorie per bottle, so that weight-watching root beer lovers can go on root beer binges without hating themselves afterwards. Dieters, don't write Cott any more angry letters. Cott has taken care of you with diet draft-style root beer. Pick up an 8-pack at your grocer's. If that doesn't sweeten you up, nothing will. It's Cott to be good. The WHDH weather story. Increasing cloudiness and warmer, the forecast for today, with highest temperatures in the low or middle 40s and southwest winds between 10 and 15 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, not so cold, lowest in the low and middle 30s, and Saturday, showers likely with little temperature change. Currently in Boston, it's cloudy with 27 degrees, 66% humidity, and winds from the southwest at 8 miles an hour. Recapping the top story at this hour, pandemonium broke out on the Paris gold market this morning as buying reached new feverish levels. Police were summoned to prevent the buyers from getting out of hand. Ray Walker for Cott Draft-Style Root Beer. Next time you're shopping, look for Cott Draft-Style Root Beer in cans or bottles. It's Cott to be good. WHDH Radio News, up to the minute next in 25 minutes at 9 o'clock.
The voice of the city.
You owe the United States government several $100s in income tax. You don't have several $100s. You don't know where you're going to get several $100s. Certainly not from your brother-in-law. So get the money from the First National Bank of Boston. Your friend at the First will give you a low bank rate. You can repay in convenient monthly installments. If you come to your friend at the First, he'll be happy, you'll be happy, and your brother-in-law will be happy.
It's 24 minutes before 9 o'clock. Are you happy? Paul Marriott. And he plays Penny Lane. Penny Lane.
Show me a girl with a high position and I'll show you an airline stewardess.
Maybe what you need is a change of people.
Yeah, baby, and not a minute too soon.
Go where the people are warm and wonderful.
SAS, Scandinavia, make the change you may be needing.
Visit Denmark, Norway, Sweden.
SAS, Scandinavia.
If you're planning a trip this spring, Scandinavian Airlines says think first of Scandinavia. The climate's warm and sunny, but what you like best are the people. Warm, friendly, and outgoing. Danes, Norwegians, and Swedes are the nicest people you'll meet anywhere. And there's so much to do, so much to see, and those wonderful people.
Maybe what you need is a change of people. SAS, Scandinavia.
Scandinavia, you'll love us for it.
Scandinavian Airlines, they fly twice daily direct to Scandinavian cities from New York with excellent connections from Boston. So call your travel agent or SAS 542-4690. Well, if you think it's easy reading Swedish numbers, it's 20 minutes before 9 o'clock and the temperature's 34. And the weather outlook is kind of variable cloudiness is what they call for. And warmer today. Highs in the lower mid-40s, so that's good news. Showers likely tomorrow with little temperature change. The probability of precipitation near zero today, 10% tonight and 60% tomorrow. Ah, the tag days of winter. And you're going to get tagged too, aren't you? Huh? Yeah. Well, if you do get tagged, you know, you can be in the clear if you've had Unicard working for you. Unicard, where you can say charge it for any purchase on the spot. But the main, well, maybe the main thing, there are many features to this system. You get one bill once a month, and it lists the stores where you shop, so it's very easy to explain your expenditures over the year, the overall total and your payment to Unicard, all in a single statement. So, you know, right there, it's in some ways expeditious. Unicard, it gives, is that the right word? Expeditious, yes. Unicard gives you thousands of shops and service establishments in which to shop. Unicard is the family credit card that benefits the whole family. And beginning now, you'll benefit from Unicard's new 24-month payment plan, giving you twice as much time to pay your Unicard balance. At the same time, instead of paying 1/12 of your monthly balances before, now you'll pay only 1/24 each month. The minimum payment remains $10, and your monthly payments are cut in half, and you have 2 years to pay, and this gives you more monthly budget leeway. Or if you pay within 24 days after the billing date, there's no service fee. Not making any sense is something I do for a living, more or less, but every once in a while, somebody will be sympathetic towards your problem. And yesterday, Andy McMillan was very sympathetic towards mine because he had a substitute for Leo. And he's just not an early morning type. And he came to me after he did what he did at 7:45. He signed off the breakfast extra, and he just read what was written there, which said, "This is Leo Egan reporting." And he came to me afterwards. He said, "I don't know how you can even talk in the morning." He said, "If somebody gave me a match cover, I think I'd read it." Close striking before cover. I can't even read a match cover correctly. Look at that.